Good evening and ooh, am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Good evening and welcome to the Missisquoi Valley Union High School graduation ceremony for the class of 2021. My name is Kyle Wilkin, and I am the co-president of the Student Council at MVU.
And I'm Maddie Conley, and I'm the co-president of Student Council. Oh, we'd like to start off with a few reminders today. Vermont law prohibits alcohol and/or tobacco products on school grounds. This is a reminder to please silence and shut off your cell phones for the duration of the ceremony. If you have younger children with you in attendance, please keep them with you until the end of the ceremony. Due to the number of people in attendance, we would ask that you refrain from talking during the ceremony. If you plan on taking pictures, please keep the aisle free. Wait until your graduate is standing in line before moving forward and taking your pictures. We ask that you respect others and do the same. In following Vermont health and safety guidance, even though our graduation is outdoors, families and guests are encouraged to wear masks if not vaccinated and to respect social distancing between families.
We come together today, all of us having experienced unexpected twists and turns through the last year and a half of our lives. We made it through, and today we're able to gather all the teachers who had to relearn how to teach, learning to use new technology, and having to change their methods of instructions, and to all the staff in the building who had to change how they worked and interacted with others. You have all adapted with grace and extreme patience. We, the class of 2021, thank you for all the efforts you have put into this year.
To all of our friends and family in attendance, and to those who were unable to make it today, thank you for all the support, guidance, and kindness you had offered to us throughout the years. None of us could have made it this far without you. Thank you for coming and enjoy the ceremony.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And on behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of Missisquoi Valley Union High School, it is my extreme pleasure to welcome you to this, the 51st High School Commencement Exercises for the MVU Class of 2021. Would you please remain standing and remove your hats as appropriate as we pause to honor America with our national anthem as pre-recorded by the MVU Master Singers under the direction of Ms. Danielle Turner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose dark stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's bright red arms bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. It is my privilege at this time to introduce, for her third commencement exercises as Superintendent of the Missisquoi Valley School District, Mrs. Julie Regenball.
Thank you, Mr. Hartman. Good evening and welcome, graduating seniors, families, and friends. I'm so proud to be here to welcome a class of such inspiring, dedicated, and talented seniors. Every one of you has worked to overcome challenges and personal barriers to get here today. You've done so with the love, support, and encouragement of your teachers, your family, and friends. This year in particular has been one of uncertainty and challenge for all of you and your families. Yet you have persevered through the events of this year together. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar recently remarked when talking about the effect of this pandemic on students that surviving means coming through an event or a catastrophe relatively intact, while thriving is about learning and growing as a result of that event. Today, at this graduation, we celebrate the fact that you have come through this past year together, thriving. Now, as always, it's my pleasure to recognize members of the senior class who will be entering military service following graduation. So when I call your name, for those of you who are present, would you please stand and remain standing so we can applaud you all at the end, okay? So Colby Moody and Kiera McFadden will be joining the Air Force. Jake Kelleher will be serving in the Army. Evan Barron will be serving in the Marines. Cody Briette and Morgan Lehue will be joining the Army National Guard. Thank you for helping us honor these students. And thank you for your commitment to public service. Finally, a word for our seniors. I want to share something that I read recently. This spring, a journalist with the Boston Globe gave a group of graduates some advice that really resonated with me. She said, "Look for heroes, not on the silver screen or on a pedestal, or even a podium like this one. Look for those at eye level and within reach. The people in your life who have been afraid but have done the right thing anyway. Those who have shown you by example how to be bold. Prize bravery over bravado. Prize all moments of bravery, even the small, unrecognized ones. Remember that you can be heroic whenever you choose, whoever you are, without being perfect or celebrated or even superbly talented, although you all are those things. My wish for you all in your life beyond MVU is that you make brave choices as you figure out your path, that you choose to be heroic by making the right decisions instead of the easy ones. Be bold. Give yourself permission to try and fail and try again and get up and prevail. Surround yourselves with the real-life heroes, those people who will support you even through the tough times, so that when facing future challenges, you will come through them not just by merely surviving, but by thriving. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2021.
It is my pleasure at this time to introduce to you the president of the senior class, Ben Magnet.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start off by thanking you all for being here. Friends, family, teachers, staff, we all really appreciate that you're here and all the work that you do in our lives, and we truly would not be here without you. So, again, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be able to be up here speaking to you all, and so I hope to be able to give some parting words that may inspire peace and contentment in your lives in the times ahead. As you all know, the last year was rather rough. Both the time we spent apart and the transition to spending time together again has been quite difficult. I'd like to talk about the great things in our lives to come, but before I do that, I would like to speak about some of the struggles that we've faced because of the recent crisis. Though there are a countless number of things that each and every member of our class has had to contend with, I'm only going to talk about a few different problems that summarize our hardship fairly well. Now, I'd like to preface by saying that this isn't done to sadden or depress anyone, but instead to serve as a reminder that we fought with great spirit and resolve in order to get to where we are today. Of course, this is going to be unbelievably sad, so make sure you're prepared. One of the first problems that we faced happened before we were even seniors. Many of us had friends in the grades above us, and in the late summer of 2021 or 2020, many of those friends left for college and the military. It may not have been permanent, and it may not have been completely out of the blue, but without being able to say our proper goodbyes, it hurt. The restrictions for seeing one another, while obviously helpful in the long run, prevented us from spending time with the people we care about. Another problem that we had to face as a class was the difficulties with sports. It came as a great disappointment to many that during our seasons, which were significantly shorter in most cases, we had to wear masks and try to distance ourselves from one another. These obstacles made our time doing what we enjoy exceedingly strenuous. Then, nearing the end of the winter sports season, we had a COVID outbreak and we weren't even able to finish. There were no state championships, and the last games we played weren't even really considered the last games until after we had played them. But of all the hardships we dealt with, many would consider the most crushing to the spirit of our class skit night. or the lack thereof. Every year since its inception, there has been a skit night hosted at MVU. The four classes would all create their funny little stories filled with punchlines and purpose to give the community a night of laughter and lessons. It was a great event for folks to watch, and it was an even greater event for us students to participate in. Doing skit truly allowed us to be ourselves, and it gave us the opportunity to express how it feels to be in high school. Skit night will be dearly missed, and I speak for all when I say that it was a privilege to be able to play a part in such a wonderful experience for the years that we were able. So now that you're all thoroughly bummed out, I'd like to take this moment to bring us back to where we are now. Think about this. In less than an hour, we're all going to walk up on this stage and grab a diploma. And you know what it's going to say on that diploma? High school graduate. I think. I don't know. I don't have my diploma yet, but I assume it's going to be along those lines. You know what that tells me? No matter how hard this past year has been, we fought through it. We had the determination and the grit to make it through all 4 years of high school, regardless of the challenges that lied in our path. We put in the effort and we said, we don't care if COVID-19 wants to ruin our lives. We are graduating from high school. Just because we lived through it doesn't mean we're going to let it define our lives. We didn't survive COVID like she was talking about. We didn't survive it. We broke it. Okay? The next part of our lives is beginning really, really shortly. And as far as I can tell, there ain't nothing COVID can do about it. With more people being vaccinated and restrictions starting to be removed, we've got an open world. After dealing with this all for so long, we can really begin to feel the utmost appreciation for the opportunities that lie just ahead in our future. The job market is opening up. People want young minds like ours to solve problems and build skyscrapers. There's no need to be looking down anymore when we've got so much to look forward to. Truly, our lives begin today. We become independent of our childhoods, and we can show everybody just how ready we really are to change the world. So the question that we have to answer is no longer, how long am I going to have to sit this one out? The question is, how much can we do with the time that we've been given? Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Please welcome to the podium at this time, Cassie Wilkin and Isaac Overton.
Good evening, everyone. I am Isaac Overton.
And my name is Cassie Wilkin. It is a pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker, Austin Sullivan. Time really does fly, and I know it will only continue to go faster, but I remember when Austin graduated high school, and here we all are graduating today. Austin graduated from MVU in 2016. Since then, Austin graduated with the highest distinction from the University of Virginia in 2020. During his time there, Austin achieved a degree in computer science. He is now currently employed at Google, working on Google Chrome. One thing to remember, success does not come without dedication and hard work. And Austin has set a great example for us, with his roots beginning as an MVU Thunderbird. Thank you for coming tonight, and we look forward to hearing what you have to share with us, Austin.
Everyone, please welcome Austin Sullivan back to MVU.
Thank you, Cassie and Isaac. So first I want to say that I think Ryan is more nervous for this speech than I am right now. So keep an eye on him and make sure he's okay. So first things first, I'm honored to be up here speaking to you all this evening. It feels a bit strange to be on this side of the podium because I was the one wearing the funky hats over there like less than a month ago because my college graduation was postponed for a year. It also feels a bit strange because, as Cassie said, I know many of you. But until now, I've always known you as, you know, the classmates of my little brother. Yeah, I said little. But graduation is one of those milestones that forces you and those around you to reevaluate your expectations. For those around you, it's pretty straightforward. The state now sees you as they expect you to be a functioning adult who pays taxes and votes. Your employer expects a more regular work schedule. Your parents expect the grocery bill to go down. But reevaluating expectations for yourself is a bit more tricky. So when I was in your shoes, the only expectations I had was, you know, some abstract notion of success that I really hadn't pinned down yet, and to be honest, and you know, still trying to pin down. So I'm going to take a detour here, but keep that idea of expectations in your mind, and I'll circle back. So one thing I remember clearly from my time as a student was the pervasive use of a certain brand of humor. Not quite self-deprecating, but I guess more MVU deprecating, if you know what I mean. You know, the type of thing where you're like, you blame MVU math for like when you're struggling to calculate a tip at a restaurant or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. So these jokes are ubiquitous, right? On the surface, they seem harmless. They're just, you know, a jab at your school and an easy way to get a laugh. But when you think about it, they're dangerous. When you're taking jabs at your school, you're really taking jabs at yourself. And more appropriately, you're at your expectations of yourself. You may not realize it, but you're telling yourself, you're reinforcing the idea that there's things you can't do, things you're just not capable of doing. So some of you are going to go off to college, and some of you won't. Even if you stay in the local community, the chances are you'll no longer be the big fish in the small pond. I know I ran into this when I went to Virginia. I decided to study computer science, having never written a line of code in my life before arriving on campus. So you can imagine how intimidated I was when it seemed that all of my classmates had been writing computer science programs since, you know, middle school, and I was stuck on the wait list for the Computer Science 101. So it's times like those when the jokes won't seem funny anymore. It becomes tempting to use your hometown or your school as a justification for why you shouldn't or why you can't pursue whatever it is you want to pursue. It used to be inconceivable to me that I would be working for a company like Google, and in some ways it still is. Like I remember in high school, I had a friend who would show me all the hidden features and, you know, Easter eggs on his Android phone, and it was cool. But the phone was designed by someone else, somewhere else, you know, probably in like California or Japan, and they're probably born with a keyboard at their fingertips and some innate abilities and knowledge that I could never know and understand. The thought that I could be that person, that I could be the one putting the Easter eggs in the phones that other people would geek out about, that literally never crossed my mind. It was always going to be someone else from somewhere else who had been set up from day one to do that. If you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. I took a robotics class here at MVU, and I refused to touch the software half of the project because I was not a coder. I wasn't one of those people that just knew how to code. So that obviously changed over the course of the last few years, but understand that process is a lot more gradual than I am about to make it seem. Even now, it still feels surreal some days that I do what I do for a living. So I guess looking back, there's two ideas I can attribute to kind of allowing myself to believe that I had a chance and to shift my own expectations of myself and what I could do. So The first was surrounding myself with people who are more driven, curious, and passionate than me. People to aspire to be like. People with the confidence to, tell the world, ball. Like, there's an old saying that you are the average of your 5 closest friends. The people we hang out with and look up to influence our expectations and therefore our behavior more than you think. That's for better or worse. So use that to your advantage. For the second idea, I'll borrow something that Coach Walker used to say of the differences between high school basketball players and those who make the NBA. There is no magic, and it's as simple as that. There is no magic. There's no secret sauce. At the end of the day, what matters is that you show up and you put in the effort. If there's one thing I've learned these past few years, is that there's a whole lot of people with fancy engineering degrees who struggle to calculate a tip. Like, to be clear, that's not a jab at the competency of engineers. You shouldn't be worried the next time you step in an airplane or cross a bridge or open a web browser. But the point here is the people who design those planes and those bridges and that software, they're not that different. They're not different from you. So circling back to expectations, what do you expect of yourself? You don't need to have an answer. It's totally fine if you don't know. Expectations are often something that we feel rather than something that we set. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who are going to push you in the direction you want to go. So as you move forward in your life, I hope that you'll be more aware of those mental barriers that you may not even realize you've set for yourself. And to evaluate those barriers honestly, and to figure out if they actually exist outside of your own mind. So I'll wrap this up with a quote from Maya Angelou. She says, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." So if I'm going to be honest, I don't actually expect most of you to remember what I've said tonight, but I hope that you walk away with the feeling that there was no magic. There's no magic here. There's no innate reason why I'm the one on this side of the podium. So what's stopping you from standing here one day? So, thank you.
Thank you, Austin, and welcome back to MVU. It is now my pleasure and distinct honor to present to you at this time the co-valedictorians for the class of 2021, Hannah Whitehead and Jordan Bordeaux.
Good evening, everyone. We would like to thank you all for coming tonight to celebrate the senior class of 2021. Today marks both the culmination of our high school experience as well as the beginning of our life beyond high school. It seems like just yesterday we were freshmen, learning how to adapt to a new schedule, new classes, and for some, a new school. At that time, graduation seemed so far away, but here we are now, wearing our caps and gowns. I'm sure many of you are feeling mixed emotions today. I definitely am. Excitement for what the future holds, but also nerves and fear. Graduating high school is an outstanding accomplishment, but it can be just a little scary thinking about what comes after. Perhaps some of you have decided to attend college or a trade school, join the military, or enter the workforce. Others may be taking some time to discover what they are passionate about or to find the path that is right for them. Whichever decision you have made, I encourage you to believe in yourself and your abilities. The diploma you received this evening represents the countless hours of hard work you have put into your high school career, and the work ethic you have developed will allow you to achieve any goal you have set for yourself. While the season of graduation is a time to acknowledge what the future may hold, it is also a time to reflect on these past 4 years together. We have made many amazing memories and built friendships that will last even after we leave here this evening. We have also made outstanding accomplishments, both individually and as a class, which are all worthy of great recognition. Some of our fellow classmates shared their favorite high school memories with us, including skit night, nursing home visits with student council, making baby hats for newborns in the hospital, and other events with the National Honor Society and the National Arts Honor Society. Within our MVU athletics program, our girls hockey team won a state championship, and many of our fall, winter, and spring sports teams have had great playoff runs. Still, there is one accomplishment that we, together, can be proud of today: graduating. Though the road may have been bumpy at times, we still put forth our best effort and reached our destination, the destination of becoming a high school graduate.
I'd like to once again welcome you all here tonight. Before we really get going, I want to ask you a question. Why do we celebrate high school graduation? Going to high school is required of us, so why do we hold ceremonies to recognize following the status quo? The reason we celebrate graduation is because it signifies the ability of you all to persevere and work toward a goal for years on end. Here's an interesting fact. A full school year for students in Vermont is 175 days, and if you multiply that by the number of years we've attended school, the result is 2,275 days spent in the classroom. 2,275 days has led us to this moment. That's why we celebrate high school graduates. For the 2,275 days they put into preparing for the world outside these walls. For the time they spent learning to listen, to communicate, to persevere, and arguably the most important of all, that the mitochondria is in fact the powerhouse of the cell. Never forget that one. Ooh. In all seriousness, school is just the beginning for us, because now that we're armed with the skills we need to succeed, and soon enough to slip a paper too, we can move on to the next exciting chapter of our lives. I would like to quickly ask all of you to think back to 1 year ago. I know it may not be the most pleasant experience, but bear with me. This last summer we wondered what this year was going to bring. Whether we would return to school in person as we have every other year, or if we would continue to stay at home. Whether the sports we have done for our entire lives and spend all year looking forward to could take place. Whether we would have any semblance of a high school experience for our senior year. The pandemic has certainly rearranged our lives in uncomfortable ways. However, we've all learned something crucial from it: the ability to adapt and persevere. Athletes have had to wear masks during sports practices and games, making it difficult to play. What did? We worked harder during practices to overcome the challenges presented to us. Students have had to rapidly become familiar with a multitude of online learning platforms. Essentially, we learned how to learn online. And I believe most of us will remember the nightmare, which is the College Board's website. Despite how much of a challenge COVID has been to us all, we have persevered it through like true champions. On an off note, how many of you have seen the Rocky movies? Can we get a quick show of hands from everyone? Awesome. I knew that with how great my classmates are. They must have had some pretty cool parents too, and it all makes total sense now. The Rocky movies, for anyone who doesn't know, are a movie franchise about an aspiring boxer who undergoes a multitude of trials in both his career as a professional boxer and in his personal life. Time and time again, he is beaten both in and out of the ring, yet he never gives up because of his unshakable belief in himself. They are immensely inspiring and are my personal favorite movie franchise, so tonight I would like to share a quote with you all from the 6th installment of these films. And the scene this quote comes from: a now retired Rocky says this when talking to his son Robert about being a victim of his consequences. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth, but you gotta be willing to take the hit, and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you are because of him or her or anybody. This quote holds a lot of significance to what we all have gone through and might still be going through. As I'm sure everyone has experienced, life is very unpredictable. No matter how on the ball you may be in life, it all falls apart in the face of such unpredictability. This past year especially, we were forced to put aside many things which we take for granted. Things such as being able to see family and friends, go out to a restaurant, or going to school functions like Mr. Thunderbird are all among activities we have lost out on. Despite the setbacks we've encountered, we cannot become victims to our circumstances. For those who have felt slighted in the last year, you probably have been, yet there is neither virtue nor value in stopping your own ambitions on behalf of something you are not in control of. We cannot stay mourning the lost experiences. We have to keep working hard to accomplish our life's aim. We've done what we came here to do, and now we're graduates. In your future plans, whether it be continuing your education, working, or whatever the future holds for you, never forget the mentality of hard work and dedication which has gotten you here today. Don't let high school be the peak. Keep climbing to the greater heights which you are capable of, and never be afraid to take the hit.
When thinking of a word to describe our class, I would have to choose persistent. High school is an experience composed of fun, learning, and making memories. However, with these positive aspects also come challenges, the most prominent one being COVID this last year. Maya Angelou, an American poet and civil rights activist, once stated, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it." Despite the difficulties that came with the pandemic, we still faced and conquered a senior year like no other. A year of masks, social distancing, and different routines. Yet, even in the face of adversity, we grew as a class. We adapted to a new hybrid schedule, completed our assignments, and worked extremely hard to get to this point today. Not only have our experiences throughout high school strengthened us as students, but they have strengthened us as people. We didn't let the hardships and defeats keep us down. Rather, these defeats helped us to learn what we are capable of accomplishing. As Angelou said, the defeats and struggles of life are necessary in the development of perseverance. The challenges we have faced in our past serve as encouragement to continue facing challenges in the future. If we maintain the power of persistence and dedication, there is absolutely no doubt that we will reach the goals we have set for ourselves in the future.
Before moving on, I would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to those who have made my high school experience what it is. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Mr. Garso, right over there behind the sound booth, my band teacher for the last 6 years. He has always gone above what is expected of teachers and made class something to look forward to. His devotion to his students is unmatched, and his passion for what he does is inspirational. I have a piece of advice for any parents in the crowd who have kids not sure if they want to play an instrument going to MVU. Make them. They'll love it. Probably. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge a few special teachers who have left a mark on my high school experience. I would like to thank Mr. Meunier for the many chess matches my sophomore year, Mr. McCormick for conscripting me to doing Scholars Bowl my junior year, and if you, like most people, don't know what that is, imagine Jeopardy but nerdier and surprisingly fun. And lastly, Mrs. Vinslet for all the hot chocolate, class walks, and Connect 4 games this last semester. Funnily enough, that also happens to be most of the MVU math department from the last few years. Coincidence? Maybe or maybe not. Finally, I would like to thank every other teacher, coach, and mentor I've had in my time at MVU. You have all had an enormous impact in shaping me into the person I am today, and for that, I am very thankful.
I would like to personally thank some individuals who have made an incredible difference in my life as well. To begin, I would like to say thank you to my guidance counselor, Miss Meggs. I certainly would not have been able to navigate these last 6 years at MVU without you, and you have played an incredible role in preparing me for my future. I would also like to thank Mr. Varga for all of his help with science fair, exam preparation, and my science classes throughout high school. You have consistently shown what it means to go the extra mile for your students, and I am so thankful to have had you as a teacher these last 3 years. Next, I express my gratitude to Mrs. Vinslet for the amazing cahoots and visits to the barn. Your love for teaching and for your students is extremely apparent, and I truly appreciate your thoughtfulness. I also want to say thank you to Mr. Garso, Mrs. Hartman, and Miss Molinaire for their remarkable kindness and encouragement. Finally, I would like to extend my appreciation to my friends and family, our student council and NHS advisors, and all of the other amazing teachers who have guided me from elementary to high school. You have all inspired me in different ways, and I would not be who I am today without you. Before we close, Jordan and I would also like to acknowledge our amazing class advisors, Miss Meggs and Mrs. Myers. On behalf of our class, we want to thank you for always guiding and supporting us in all that we do. We truly appreciate your hard work and dedication over these last 4 years.
Despite all the challenges we have faced together throughout life and especially this last year, the commonality is not how they have brought us down, but rather in how we overcame them. We are more resilient having gone through this last year and are better because of it. Rather than looking back and dwelling on regrets, we encourage you to truly reflect upon the effect your trials have had on shaping you, and then look to the future. This year was certainly different, but it was still incredibly memorable for all the positives it has brought. There is no other class we would have rather spent these last 4 years with, and we wish you all the best in your adventures after high school. For those of you in the audience, I would like to again thank you for coming to celebrate our class and encourage you to, like those sitting in front of you in their caps and gowns, continue to look toward the future and work to climb to the next mountain in your lives. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Jordan. Please welcome to the stage at this time, Emily Graham and Patrick Walker.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming. I'm Patrick Walker, and here's Emily Graham.
The Missisquoi Valley Union Class of 2021 is proud to be donating the remainder of our senior class money to support the purchase of a new wireless sound system for the MVU Gymnasium.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you to the class of 2021 for your very generous donation to our sound system, which will complete the renovation project that we began a couple of years ago, a major portion of it being the gymnasium upgrades. Nobody will thank you more than Mr. Lumsden, that he won't have to carry all the PA systems around any longer. Before getting to the presentation of this year's senior class for the conferring of their diplomas, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the faculty, staff, and administration, both of Missisquoi Valley Union Middle and High School and the Missisquoi Valley School District as a whole, for their help and support, especially during this most unusual and most trying year for all of us. As with any year, when we have a senior class graduate, MVU also has longtime staff members who have chosen to end their careers in public education. This year we have 3 individuals who have served our school at Missisquoi Valley for over 70 years, of combined service, and I wish to acknowledge them at this time. They include English instructor Kathleen Hoffman, paraprofessional Mary Shepard, and longtime middle school administrative assistant Lori Kilberry. Thank you to each of them for a job well done. And now, the reason we're here. For the second time, I might add, in MVU history, for those of you that were around in 1987, we tried this once before, at the other end of the field. I must admit, it's a lot nicer this evening. At this time, I would ask Mr. Stephen Messier, Dean of Students at Missisquoi Valley Union, along with Superintendent Julie Regenball, and Missisquoi Valley School Board member Peter Magnet, to please come forward as we prepare to honor and to confer diplomas upon the senior class of 2021.
Kevin J. Adams. Sydney Jade Aroldi. Madeline May Aronson. Avery May Bailey. Jacob Paul Benjamin. Abigail Rose Bassett. Nevaeh Rain Bior. Landon Gordon Dale Bigelow. Connor M. Bolio. Paul J. Bouchard. Robert William Boucher. Jade Marie Boudreau. Jordan M. Bordeaux. Cole Everett Michael Buta. Lauren Elizabeth Broderick. Zachary James Brunel. Cody Lawrence Briette. Jordan Emmeline Bushy. Tyler Adam Bushy. Brielle S. Charleston. Violet Elizabeth Clare. Brianne Klein. Chad Michael Klein. Isaiah M. Cobb. Madison L. Conley. Brandon Michael Cooper. Matthew R. Curtis. Laney W. Domina. Cassidy Ann Dunphy. Isaac John Ellis. Jack N. Evans. Riley Jade Fadden Dupree. Whitney Ann Farnsworth. Alana M. Fiorini. Ryan Neil Fisher. Brooke Elizabeth Fournier. Zachary T. Foy. Laura Ann Friends. Jade Lynn Furlow. Charles Winslow Gates III. Shelby Lynn Gilbar. Xaveria Marie Goki. Jonah Raymond Gonzalez. Aaron David Goodrich. Emily Jean Graham. Justin Arthur Grenier. Owen Michael Greenwood. John Edward Greer. Valerie Ann Gretto. Gavin Cade Hancock. Natalie Grace Harvey. Ashley Nicole Hennis. Isabella Marie Hoig. Jack Ryan Holcomb. Hannah Ray Johnson. Caleb Kevin Johnston. Paige Kayla Johnston. William Thomas Kiefer. Jacob Matthew Kelleher. Stephen Russell King. Haley J. LeBombard. Morgan Lacey Lehue. Cheyenne Lee Lampman. Michaela Lynn Langloy. Alexander Miles Larrabee. Elizabeth Marie LaRush. Aiden Joseph LaRose. Dylan James Leary. Emily May LeClaire. Carter Michael Letourneau. Ethan Kyle Lange. Chase Patrick Lumbra. Brianna Eileen Lyford. Benjamin Thomas Magnet. Faith Marie Marcia. Hunter Douglas Mason. Caleb Jordan Massey. Ethan James McMahon. Kendra Maria Messier. Colby Edward Moody. Sebastian Morgan. Noah William Morris. Lydia Marie Oakes. Natalie Annette Oliver. Isaac C. Overton. Brianna Marie Parent. Maribel Chloe Piscini. Laura Jacqueline Pearl LeClaire. Nathaniel John Allen Peters. Adriana Elise Pigeon. Annie Claire Plouffe. Andrew Alfred Porter. Jackson Montgomery Porter. Aiden Michael Potts. Sean Thomas Power. Kyle Richard Quick. Ryan Patrick Raleigh. Alan Chase Rivers. Maya Yvonne Rushlow. Olivia Lace Rollo. Georgia Lynn Sawsville. Amber Dawn Schaefer. Alexis Margaret Sizen. Kane R. Stanley. Ryan Eric Sullivan. Jack A. Sweat. Rihanna Grace Sweeney. Nathan Arthur Taylor. Bella Louise Thayer. Cameron Ray Turcott. Devin Michael Tuttle Whalen. Gabriel Davon Unwin. Cassidy Francis Valancourt. Cameron James Vizina. Patrick David Walker. Devin Michael Wells. Hannah Cassidy Whitehead. Cassie Marie Claire Wilkin. Kyle Robert Wilkin. Monica Pearl Wilson.
Members of the graduating class of 2021, family, friends, and invited guests, it is my pleasure once again to welcome Class President Ben Magnet back to the podium.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back again. And could I get all these people wearing the weird blue clothing, could you all stand up for me? Thank you. So I'd like to give a big congratulations to the graduating senior class of 2021 from Missisquoi Valley Union High School. Can we get a round of applause? Now, this morning at our dress rehearsal, it was made abundantly clear by the administration that we cannot throw our caps. And I am here to make it abundantly clear that we did not get a senior prank.